Mike, what is up, man?
What's up, brother, man? How are you?
Doing well, doing well. How are you?
Long time no see, kinda.
Yeah. It's been a number of years.
I know you've been off doing your thing for a little bit.
Yeah, it's been an adventure. So
Sweet.
I'm glad it came full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got Mike Arnold here from Creekside Outdoor Living in Crown Point, Indiana. When did you start the company?
We started this up around 2008.
All right.
On the tail end of that, yeah.
All right. And it looks like you're doing a lot of big contracts now. Things are going pretty well.
Yeah, man. The Lord has definitely blessed us quite a bit. We are. I don't know if I ever expected us to be handling the size jobs that we are, but it's so much fun. It's so much fun to watch this company blossom and grow and what we're capable of doing nowadays.
Yeah, man. That's awesome. Yeah, and I've probably seen about, I don't know, half of that now, and so it's been cool to watch.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
So just so we have some context, like what services do you guys offer and what do you not offer?
Cool. So the company's Creekside Outdoor Living, right? So it has everything to do with the outdoor living experience. So we are facilitating the ideas, the design, the concepts, and then the build for anything that has to do really on the outside livable space, your outdoor living room. That's your outdoor patio, kitchen. We don't do pools, we don't do swimming pools, but we coordinate a lot with the pool company and design in where the pool should go. All that kind of stuff, along with the typical lawn cutting, and we have probably the most robust fertilizer program in all of Northwest Indiana, and then commercial snow plowing. So
okay. What's keeping you going during this COVID season?
Quite frankly, man, this is a season where I'm hurt. My heart breaks for a lot of the people that are without work and are losing their jobs and are furloughed. But we are experiencing a season of growth and prosperity, no doubt, because everybody's at home. And I'll tell you what, the media will want you to think that the world is coming to an end and nobody's going to spend money with anybody anymore. But people do have money. They're just a little bit timid to spend it.
Yeah.
But I am coming across a lot of people who have done a great job of saving up for whatever reason. And they are stuck at home and they're looking at their property going, this sucks. I want to be able to, if I'm going to be stuck at home, I want to be able to enjoy my property. So that has resulted in, we're experiencing the high call volume that spring normally gives a landscape company, and then some. The people who would never have thought about doing an outdoor living space are now doing that, because I think the vacation budget for most American families is now going to start going into the home, to make the home your sanctuary, your safe haven place. So
wow, man. Yeah. Well, it's great to hear that you're doing well, and I think a lot of people are starting to invest in their sphere. People are thinking about what's important in life, and so that's family time. So that's cool that you're tapping into that and helping people achieve that.
Absolutely.
What has been your biggest obstacle to growing the company since you started out?
Man, the biggest obstacle, and I'm sure you hear this all the time, is people. Finding the right people, retaining the right people, building up the right people, and making sure that the people that we want here are being nurtured and cultured in a way that they're a part of the team, they're a part of the family. And people always say, like, good people are hard to find, right? And I really think, and I'll say this till I'm blue in the face, man, God has blessed me, God has blessed this company, and I thoroughly at times feel underqualified for the position that I am in, to have such great, amazing talent underneath me, from the management in the office to the designer that we have, to all these people across the board. Now that I have these key people in place, it's trying to find a place for the people that are flocking to us now. So it's no longer really a matter of we got to find the right people, man, we've got the right people. And it's making sure that we've got enough work for those people. So you always have that balancing act, right? You build the beast, now you got to feed the beast, or you have too much beast and not enough, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that we're at a really good balance right now. Could even maybe use one or two more people, but we're at a cozy place. So that's people, human resources.
Yeah.
Is the answer to your question.
Well, man, I love your humility, and that's so cool. It's so cool to hear that it's becoming easy at this point.
Easier. Yeah, it's never the easiest thing. That's why companies have. I now know why companies have entire HR departments. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. So, how can you help other people that are struggling with that issue tap into, what you've accomplished in terms of, is it a culture that you're building within your company, or is there specific recruiting techniques that you're using that are just hitting now? What can companies in your field and other fields do to get good help these days?
The very first place that I usually go is to my own team, right? If I have people on my staff that I have sought out and I wanted on my team, or I haven't fired, that means I want them here. Right. And if I want them here, it means I like them. And if I like them, I might like who they like, right? Mm. So I really try to put some trust in the hands of the people that already work here, and let that be my first avenue. Sometimes that comes up dry, and that's okay. And then we got to start looking to other means, right? Craigslist used to be a place you could go for that. And then you put strict qualifications, like you must have this, you must do this. And they go, yeah, I have experience in landscaping. I've been working at Burger King for the last 10 years. And we're going, you're not the fit. What are you doing applying? You're wasting my time and yours. But, going online is certainly a method. But above all, I mean, you have to be a company that somebody wants to work for. Long gone are the days where somebody is just working for a paycheck. People will now take pay cuts. In fact, many of my people have taken pay cuts because the workplace was more valuable than the dollar. So if you can create a place where people want to work, you will be profitable in the area of human resources and getting people on board.
I think that's pretty much leads right into what my next question would be, which is like, what are some specifics? And as a former business owner and being involved in management, I think we can get very busy with our own plight and our own stresses, and then not spend a lot of time thinking about what it's like to work for us. Is there any specifics you can nail down about like what it is that an employee needs from you to love their job and to want to stick around after they're trained?
Quite simply, you have to not be an a-hole. I mean, and that's
mic drop.
Honestly, like, so many people have come over here because me and my team aren't screaming at them. And don't get me wrong, man, I've had my weak moments, my days where I'm frustrated. I don't understand why a project's taking so long. And I'm going like, guys, we have got to get this done. Like, what are we doing out there? Are we taking naps? Like, I've had my days, and my team, if they were in this room, they would be shaking their heads yes. But overall, like, you have to be understanding of what our workers go through in a day, what their mindsets are, and if there's a level of trust too that you have to have. Like, you can't just be over their shoulder the entire time. And if you do need to do that, then they might not be the right people. I used to have to do that. I can't tell you how many people. I could name 10 people right off the bat that if I thought of them, my first thought would be, it's funny. I always, whenever I'm uploading a video to like my file folder on my phone, it will, if I go to another app, or if I shut my phone off, not shut my phone off, but if I go to something else, it will stop uploading. And it's always funny. I have to be looking at it in order for it to work. And that's how it was with a lot of people. Like, I had to be looking at it for it to work, for them to work. And I hated that. And I'm like, man, we got to get some better people. I need some people that have integrity. that can be working hard even when I'm not looking or when my project manager is looking. And we've found that right balance now. Like I show up at job sites now, I'll come around the corner. I don't see a single guy on his phone. I don't see anybody slacking off. Like they're hustling as hard as they were when I was around the corner. So
wow.
I think that there has to be a level of trust that you initiate, right? You kind of, what's the cop term? You're guilty or innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
And you kind of, you take that approach and you will begin to have a reputation because all of our workers talk to the other workers of similar industries. So it starts at a core of just who you are and what you want your management technique to be like. And I'm using a lot of I terms, but it's a lot of we, because I've got so many. I really don't do any of the managing of the job sites anymore. Other people do, and they are more graceful and more skilled than I am with it. So it's a very good thing that they're doing it. But like them, right? They are handling things in a great way, and that word travels to other people, and other people are then that same day when they hear that, they're going, "Oh, I just got screamed at for no good reason by my boss. Wonder what it'd be like to switch teams."
So, would you say that you would prioritize like integrity and character over experience then?
Oh yeah, dude, man, I have had people that had all the experience in the world, but they were bad apples. They were cancers to the atmosphere and attitude of the company. You can train a good attitude. You cannot train and work with a bad attitude. Man, I would rather go out there and sling shovels all day than be miserable because I have to think about when I wake up in the morning, I have to think about, I have to go to work today and be around X person, this person, rather than this guy doesn't have a lot of experience, but like, man, he makes me laugh. He's super fun to be around, and everybody's happy and smiling. A happy work atmosphere is a hardworking atmosphere. So yeah, absolutely.
So it sounds like maybe, how does like intelligence play into that? That might be a bit of a segue, but like, are you looking for somebody who first has high character and then hopefully, picks up things quickly?
Yeah, I mean, you can't just hire somebody who is just really good at smiling.
Yeah,
like that's all they're good at. Work at Burger King for that. You got to have the capacity to learn and to grow, right? I mean, we're always looking at what somebody's past experience is, and we'll give people shots that have no experience because they come in and there's a guy the other day who he sounded great on the phone, and he called me personally. He's like, "Man, I'm just having a bad run. Like I'm at a hotel. I spent all my last money on this, and I don't have really much experience with landscaping, but I want to get back on my feet and I want to work." And I'm like, my heart's bleeding. And I'm like, I'm calling my manager and I'm like, "Dude, what do we got to do? Like, can we get this guy a job? Can we fit him in somewhere?" And he's like, "Oh, he gave him the opportunity." Dude didn't even show up the first day. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Yeah, it's paired. Like you need to have like character. You have to have intelligence. Depending on your industry, right? I mean, I'm sure people are watching this that are from several different industries. Like it's not just landscaping, but yeah, I mean, you have to have some kind of gauge on intelligence. If they don't have a long list of references and education or whatever, then it's a conversation. You got to use your best judgment. Like, how does this person talk? How do I feel comfortable going back and forth with them? I don't know.
Yeah. I think I agree that, you can feel out someone's character and their general aptitude, but then I think the experience can be almost like, forbidden fruit. It's like, "Oh, I don't have to train you." But then like, if the hubris is high and it's like, you'd rather train somebody, and if they are trainable if they are capable of learning, then and they have good character, yeah, man,
because if you don't, man, you just injected a disease that will spread in your company.
Yeah, that negativity. Yeah, you got to watch that. Yeah, elaborate on that a little bit if you would. Just like how to be aware of that and how to make sure that you're not that for your own company.
Yeah. Well, we'll hit on that last one that you said. I have negative days and I will leave. Honestly, there'll be days where I'm just in a mood, and my general manager, he's like, he's super near and dear to me. He's super close to me. And so like we can talk about whatever, and he'll just be like, dude, you're in a bad mood, leave. Like, just leave. And I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Because I know I can tell when I'm bringing people down if I'm having a bad day. But I mean, then on the flip side, the people that are continually that way, you can, I mean, it's the one person everybody talks about.
Right.
Like if anybody has it who's watching this and listening to this right now, there's one person who's coming to your mind, because it used to happen for me. Yep. I used to have that one person coming to my mind.
And they were good at their job in one regard.
Well, good at their job is shaky.
They showed up.
they were decent, and they were,
something was keeping them around.
The guy was loyal. He was completely loyal, and I love that about him. He was loyal to me, loyal to the company, but just
there you go.
Wretched attitude, the negative aspect of everything. Everybody's a douchebag, blah, 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 blah. This person's not doing that. And it's like no personal responsibility for anything. So, weeding that out, we saw an increase in productivity like mad.
Oh, wow.
The mood of the building just skyrocketed. Mm-hmm. And I love the guy, right? But dude,
yeah.
It was extenuating circumstances that got him fired. But I mean, if it wasn't that, it would have been something else sooner or later.
Right.
So it's a must, man. Like, even if the guy is you think he's your bread and butter, blah, 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 like, no, you got to find people who take initiative. You got to find people who have a great attitude, will bring up the rest of the company, will be a voice of reason and positivity, even in the face of challenging circumstances.
Wow. That's good, man.
Yeah.
If you could do one thing differently from the start of your company in 2008, what would it be?
It's not really related to HR, but it would have been grow smarter.
Okay.
Grow smarter. We just kind of would always just take everything that came our way and go, oh, well, figure out how to do that, and we knew how to do it, but we're taking out too much, grew too fast, paid the price for that a little bit. We're plateaued out now, right? We're fine. So we're steady growing now, but, went right off the bat and like, bought all the equipment that we need, build the shop that we need and all this kind of stuff. So we were just a little bit overhead heavy for a while. So I don't know. I would definitely grow smarter and know my numbers a bit more. It wasn't until like in the last 3, 4, even 5 years that we really took hard dives into what our costs are, what we need to recover, in order to know properly how to price things and how to plan for it too. So that's about it.
No, that's good. I think when you start out, you have all this interest coming in and you're like, oh man, things are going well. But if you haven't really decided like who you are, what you do, what you don't do, then you're dividing your efforts, which works well for a little while and then starts to compound.
Yeah.
Not everyone's cross-trained to do everything, and you're ending up having to be the guy who knows everything. And that is, I think, that other than good people, that's the next like huge thing is like saying no, and growing slow.
Because you don't want to, because if you're a true entrepreneur and a true business person, you look at every opportunity as like, I got to chase that. And when you see an opportunity slip or like the the mere thought of saying no to an opportunity is like excruciating, because it's like, dude, that thing came my way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the stock market. You look at the stock market, and you're like, wow, there's opportunity everywhere, but there's thousands of stocks. You can't get in on every single one. Like, you have to do what you can with your focus and your finance.
Yeah, I had, when I owned a screen printing business, I had one situation where like a semi-famous band hit me up and asked me to print posters for them.
Yeah.
And so like I was gonna like on the fly like buy the equipment and do all this stuff, and like it was like the busiest week of my year, and so I was like, yes, I'll do it, just because of who it was and everything.
Oh, no doubt.
And then I think 24 hours later, I was like, I've made a horrible mistake. So I called the guy back, and I'm like, would it like leave a terrible taste in your mouth if I just was straight up with you that like I should have said no to this?
I can't do this. Yeah.
And he honestly, he was like, honestly, that I think you just won my respect by being able to man up and say that.
Yeah.
We're still cool, but it's so hard. It's so hard when people are flashing opportunities to pare down, but if you let that get out of control, it can get pretty stressful. Yeah. So
you lose the ability to have a high output quality, high quality output.
Yeah.
You lose the ability to do that because you lose your focus.
Yep. Yeah. When your mind starts to go, the quality starts to go, and then if you start making excuses, then that's when you get into proper business ownership, you know.
Yeah.
So you don't want to do any of that.
Correct.
Yeah, man, that's great to hear that you're operating that way. What is something that you wish every homeowner knew?
Every homeowner?
Yeah.
Landscaping costs money.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we I'd say one of our biggest, I'd say two things. The first one would be one of the biggest hurdles that we face is that people have especially people who are building new homes, especially those people, because they just got getting upsold by the builder for every little thing, for brass doorknobs, for the touch faucet thing, all that stuff. And they're like, wow, we are $20,000 higher than we thought we would be. Oh, wait, we need to do the landscaping now. And it's like 8 times out of 10 that people think it's going to be half of what it actually is. For any kind of landscape, for their lawn establishment, for their plantings. And then they end up going bare minimum. They allow their builder to do a concrete slab in the backyard that they're going to have to just tear out one day because they didn't budget accordingly for a product that will last them a lifetime now. So number one, I would say things cost money. Like our high-end landscape type projects, they cost $1, relatively speaking. The second thing I would say is there is a very high return on your investment with the type of projects that we are installing.
Really?
I think we are like, in terms of like an outdoor living space with lighting and kitchen and all that kind of thing, I think we are like number 2 or number 3 on the top positive percentage ROI things that you can do for your home, right behind like a basement bathroom or something like that.
Wow.
In our area, studies have shown, and people have told me that we can expect to earn about $1.25 to $1.50 on every dollar that we spend on landscaping. So it is a luxury to be able to go outside and spend time in this beautiful patio and spend time around the fire and the kitchen and all that kind of stuff. It is a luxury, but it's not a luxury like a vehicle that you buy and drive off the lot and it immediately loses value. It's something that's going to appreciate over time. It's going to earn you back a positive percentage in the home value. So those would be two key things for any homeowner anywhere to focus on, I suppose.
I think if nothing else comes out of this conversation other than me knowing that, that's awesome. I'm like Mr. Frugal now, so that speaks to my soul. and also I just love hanging out with friends outside these days, especially with everything that's going on. Obviously a little bit distant, but when you're like, when you can't, when you can't, when you can't go do all the things, you realize it didn't really matter that much anyways. And, when the business, is in jeopardy or whatever, and everything's kind of in flux, you realize like, oh, everything that really matters is, do I have enough to make memories with the people that I care about? And
dude, yeah.
And so if you're helping people do that,
contentment is key.
What's that?
So contentment is key.
Oh yeah, totally, man. What comes to mind when you hear the word SEO?
Space energy object. Social Enneagram operation. I don't know. So I know what you're talking about. SEO, that's the online thing, right?
Yeah. First off, do you get a ton of solicitation calls from like digital marketing companies?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. At least one a week minimum.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Super spammy. Yeah.
Excessively spammy.
Yeah, we've got a bad rep for that. So we're working on trying to figure out how to either play directly into that issue,
right,
or just grind out, turning the tide on that.
Yeah.
Have you is that a marketing approach that you are using?
So I really don't get too crazy into that because the majority of our leads come from word of mouth.
Okay.
And one thing that I find is when we start pumping any kind of like online advertisement, or have like advertisement in the yellow book, which nobody does that anymore. Some people are nuts to me, but
that's crazy.
we seem to attract a lot more people who they want a landscape job versus they want a Creekside job. They want to get 8-9 quotes, which is nuts. How do you have the time for that, even if you are quarantined at home? But those are the kind of people, I feel like when we press that kind of marketing, it attracts those kind of clients, and that's not really what we want. We want the people that were referred to us by somebody else that we did a high top-notch job for. Because we know those are people who are serious, and they're not going to be people who, it sounds bad, but waste our time. And you have to be protective of your time in this industry, or you're never going to get anything done.
Yeah, I've had similar experiences with digital marketing. I think once you start opening yourself up to people that don't know you from Adam, there's like a degree of vetting and customer education that happens when somebody is referred, and so I think like coupled, if you were to take like the next step and say, hey, we're going to scale further than word of mouth could pitch us.
Mm-hmm.
You do have to build like qualifiers and customer education into like the first initial steps, almost so that a time waster is dissuaded from your company.
The other simpler way to do that is to charge for your consultations.
Yeah, well, that would be a great example.
That's super taboo, but that's a surefire way. I know that I'm not going to be wasting my time, because if this person ends up, they just wanted 8 quotes, I'm not going to be the cheapest, and I already know that. They already know that.
Right.
So my time wasn't wasted, and people are serious. That's a way to tell who is serious about doing work with us versus they want the people that want a deal more than they want a good job.
Yeah. Would you ever like refund that if somebody did make a purchase, something like that?
Sometimes. And that's just situational.
Yeah.
It's situational. But I mean, I do place a high value, a monetary value, on my time or on the time of somebody that I send out to be a qualified person. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's a good objection. I'll have to take that to the team and come up with some, that's kind of what we're doing here anyways, is trying to.
Oh, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
What'd you miss? Yeah, that's a good objection. And that's kind of what we're trying to do here is it's one thing to get a bunch of business funneled in. It's a whole nother thing for that to be an enjoyable experience. More business isn't necessarily a good thing. I know that sounds crazy, right. But it's actually easy for us at our company to get people more leads. It's difficult to qualify those leads or have a reciprocal relationship with our clients where those leads are being qualified. And it's also difficult just for people to even want to grow and not feel overwhelmed with the work they have and to tackle some of these issues we've already talked about finding good help. And so, man, this has been super awesome. I feel educated, and now I have my mind spinning on the next things that I want to go try and tackle. So thanks so much, man, for your time. I really appreciate it.
100%. I appreciate you bringing me on.
Yeah, for sure, man. All right, well, you get back to work and go sling some more outdoor living, all right?
Yeah, man.
All right.
Awesome. Talk to you.